Are keywords and categories really needed for your book? Hey, welcome to this new CES Pro podcast. And today we're going to talk about keywords and categories. Now, first and foremost, let's start with what keywords and categories for your book are. When you want to self-publish your book, you need a few things. You need things like a cover design, interior design or formatting. You need keywords and categories, book descriptions, price, marketing plans, a whole lot of different things that you need. But why are keywords and categories included in that list as well? Well, they're actually one of the four main components that you need to upload your book successfully. And cover design is the most important one. After that you come for the formatting, book description, your price is very important, but those keywords and categories can be very important as well. And why? Because if you find the right keywords and categories, you allow people to actually find your book on sites like Amazon, for instance. Now, how does this work? Generally, whenever somebody is looking for a new book or new topic, they go online to a site like Amazon and they type something in the search bar. To give an example, I'm a big horror lover. So if I'm looking for a new horror novel, then I go to the search bar and I can type something in like best horror novels, something like that. Or if I really want to find something very specific, like for instance, I'm looking for a horror novel about a ship. Or maybe even more specific, a ship that went down in the 19th century with ghosts, something like that. I can literally type down a horror story with which ship in the 19th century with ghosts. Basically, you can type everything in the search bar. And then Amazon will hit you back with a lot of books related to the keywords you actually typed into. So that's why keywords can be very, very important. So it's basically a free way for you to publish or promote, I should say, to promote your book on Amazon. A different way to promote your book is, of course, using things like paid advertising, like Amazon ads, BookBub ads, Facebook ads. But be able to find your book naturally by your potential readers is a great way as well. Because remember, Amazon, just like Google and YouTube, is actually a search engine for books. So if you make sure that your book will pop up with a certain keyword, and the keyword that you actually want to pop up for, it can be a great way to be discovered. Now, same thing with categories. So not everybody is actually typing something in a keyword phrase bar. Some people actually just scroll through like a category list and find your book there. So having your book in the right categories can also help. Now, a lot of people don't know this, but this is a short little secret, that when you upload your book to Amazon, you can actually use up to 7 keywords. But keywords can be a word, but it actually can be a phrase. Again, as an example, you can say a horror novel about about a haunted house. A horror novel about a haunted house, or haunted house novels, haunted house books. That complete phrase is actually one keyword and you can use up to 7. 7 for your ebook and 7 for your paperback. Those can be the same, but if you can find good ones that fit for both ebook and paperback, and those can be different ones, you basically have 14 keywords in total and 14 chances that people can find your book. Now, for the categories, it's the same thing. When you upload your book, you can actually only choose 2 categories. They're actually not really categories, they're more like BISAC codes. But when you can upload your book, that's the only thing you get. You can choose 2 categories. But a lot of people don't know this. When you upload your book, you can actually use up to 10 categories per type of book. So 10 for your ebook and 10 for your paperback. Which is great because now eventually you have 20 categories instead of 2 that your book can be placed on, and thus more chances that people can discover your book. Now, the way to do this is actually first do your research for your keywords and categories, find those keywords, find those categories, and then when you publish your book, once it's published, you can actually use the 7 keywords when you're actually uploading it. But for the categories, once your book is published, then you can go back into your KDP account, contact Amazon, and they actually have a button that says uploading or updating your Amazon categories. And then inside you basically send them an email to request, hey, can you please delete the 2 categories I used when uploading, and can you add these 10 or 20 or whomever you found inside? And then often they will do that for you. But let me first quickly show you how to do a keyword and categories research. So what you need for this, or the easiest way to do this, is get access to Publisher Rocket. This is one of the best tools out there to do this research for you. You can also do this manually. You could go to Amazon and basically do a manual research for your best keywords and categories, but trust me, that takes ages and isn't worth your time or your money. So Publisher Rocket is actually not that expensive. I believe it goes around for about like $70 or $80. It's a one-time fee, and trust me, if you even are considering getting the right keywords and categories, this is definitely the way to go. Now, as you can see here, you can use a keyword search, you can do competition analyzer, category search, Amazon keyword search, and tutorials. So you can go inside here to the keyword search, and then you can type in a certain keyword. So let's say horror books, ships. There we go. You can choose books or you can choose Kindle. I'll go with a Kindle. And it says it only brings one back, horror book ships, but then I can see, okay, this is actually a good keyword, and I analyze this. And what you can see here is the amount of competition, or competitors I should say, the average monthly earnings. You can see if people are actually looking for this keyword and what the competitive score is. Now, as you can see here, this is not a good one. Hardly anybody is looking for this. So let's do another one. Let's just go with horror books in general. There we go. See, now we have the list is longer and it brings back related keywords as well. Let's say I'm interested in using this keyword to see if it's actually a good one. Then see here the number of competitors again. You can see the every monthly earnings for this keyword. You see the amount of searches. So you see this actually this keyword's actually searched a lot, and the competitive score. Now 100 means it's very competitive. 0 means it's not that competitive. So although this is it's a nice keyword, but it's pretty competitive. So personally, I would not use it. Now, I'm not getting into actually how to use this system and how to find the best keywords and categories. We actually have a great tutorial for that and a course for that inside the community. So check that out. I just want to show you a little bit what program you can use and how beautiful this program actually is and how great it can work. Same thing for the categories. If I click on a category search, you can actually find the right categories for your book. So let's say you have written a fiction novel and you want to do horror again. Let's do horror again. You see here it brings back the categories they have. They have it for Audible, books is for the paperback, and then we also of course have the Kindle, and you can also just click just to choose the Kindle or the books or whatever. And then here you can see the complete string, the complete category. Now what you can do is basically click here to see, but I want to start with the lowest one. And then what it basically says here, if you want to use this category, you only need to sell 1 copy per day, and actually to be a bestseller, or 1 copy in order to be in the top page of Amazon. So that's why if you do research, it can really help you drive more traffic to your book and also be an Amazon bestseller. And that's of course something that a lot of people love. Now what you can do is if you find the right keywords and categories, you can actually go to an Excel sheet, create an Excel sheet like something similar that we have here, and you can basically copy and paste everything in. So you can write down what the keyword is, you can type in what the number of competitors are, the every monthly earnings, Amazon searches per month, and a competitive score. So you actually have a spreadsheet for yourself to see eventually what the best ones are. Because if you do an intensive research, you might end up with, I don't know, 20 or maybe more keywords, but you can only use 7. So this structure really will help you down pinpointing what the best ones eventually are. Same thing with the categories. Just use a spreadsheet for yourself and write it down. So eventually you can pick the best ones for you. But is this actually worth it? Well, the answer is yes, it definitely is. It's basically, it will basically help you getting your free traffic towards your book. So highly recommend doing a research like this or outsource it. You got two things that you can do. You can get access to Publisher Rocket yourself, or you can actually outsource it to something like Cutting a Studio, for instance. This is something that we do for you, and you can get that spreadsheet for you. But if you want to do the research yourself, just put a little bit of time and effort in it. And another thing is, this is not a set it and forget it system. In generally, every 3 months, you want to do another research, because every single day thousands and thousands of books are uploaded to Amazon, so the competitors constantly shifts and changed. So constantly you want to see if those keywords are still working for you. Now, how do you know this? How do you know if a keyword is still the right fit for you and still working for you? Well, that's actually pretty easy. You can go to Amazon, you can type that certain keyword in, and if your book does not appear on the first page or second page, I would say you can still work with the second page. If that's not the case, then just do another research. Basically delete that keyword and upload it with another one. Well, that was it today for this CEO Pro podcast. I hope it was very helpful, and I'll see you in the next episode.